Hello and welcome once again to Travel in Chinese. My name is Mark Rosewell, better known in China as Da Shan. Well, today we're going to step back a moment and take a while to review some of the material that we've covered in the previous few episodes. I have with me in studio two foreign students from Beijing Normal University who've been living in China for a few months, studying Chinese, following our program, and today they're going to help us with the review. Thanks for coming. Maybe we can start with a self-introduction.
我的名字叫村田瑶，我来自日本，到北京留学，现在已经有8个月以上了。
Okay, 村田瑶 from Japan. Thanks for coming.
我叫许思安，我是苏格兰人，我也在北师大留学，可是他比我高1年级。
Okay, so you're both studying at Beijing Normal University. You've been living in China for a couple of months now. In the dialogues that we're going to be reviewing today, we're talking quite a bit about food in China and ordering food in restaurants. Now, sometimes it can be hard to know from the names of dishes what they are exactly. Ever have any funny stories when you're ordering dishes in Chinese restaurants?
我觉得红烧日本豆腐，很有意思，因为在日本没有红烧日本豆腐。
Okay, 红烧日本豆腐 is sort of what we call here is Japanese tofu cooked in a red sauce, but you don't. The tofu in Japan is not actually 日本豆腐. It's not the same thing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, 许思安。
狮子头是一种菜，是比较普通的菜。可是我第一次看在菜单看到的时候，我不知道是什么东西，我以为是真的那个狮子头。
狮子头 would be a lion's head, but actually it's like a big meatball sort of. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually made from a lion's head or not. Probably not. Yeah, well, that's interesting. You know, I think of a dish called 蚂蚁上树, which literally means ants climbing the tree, but I'm sure it's not made with ants or trees. Well, let's go to today's first dialogue and see what Xue Mei and her colleague ordered when they went to a restaurant. Did they order 日本豆腐 and 狮子头? Let's take a look.
Okay.
你好，请问您几位
？3位，我们已经预定了16号桌。
几位这边请。
这个真好看。
你好，这是菜单。
好，谢谢。你们看看菜单，看看喜欢吃什么。
哎，你点吧，我什么都行。
就是您点吧，这叫能者多劳嘛。
好，先点几个凉菜，四川泡菜，夫妻肺片，再来几个热菜。雪梅，你有没有不吃的东西呢？
我不喜欢吃猪脚、猪头什么的。
好，我看看啊。服务员。那我们再要一个鱼香肉丝，宫保鸡丁。对了，还有一个麻婆豆腐，这些都是典型的川菜。
几个菜了，够了吧？
凉菜、热菜加起来一共5个。
5个菜，5个不好。再来一个酸辣黄瓜，6大顺。
您喝点什么酒水饮料？
我要一瓶啤酒，你们呢？也喝点啤酒吧。
我想喝菊花茶吧。
我也想喝菊花茶，来一壶菊花茶。
啤酒要冰的。
好的，请稍等。
Well, in that dialogue we just watched, it looked like they ended up in a Sichuan restaurant, 川菜馆. Well, Sichuan food is known for being really spicy. We say 麻辣. What do you think about Sichuan food? Can you stand the heat?
我觉得麻辣的麻，我当初不知道麻是什么味道。
Okay. That's right, because in English we say spicy, but those are two different spices in China. Ma would be the Sichuan peppercorns. It sort of makes your mouth feel numb, and la is just the hot, like chili pepper hot. So you're not quite sure about the ma taste.
对。
许三，
这个有2种，好像是面类，可是一个叫米粉，一个叫米线。我是这个吃的很细的东西，可是我也不知道有什么区别。
Yeah, that's right. In English we'd call them the rice noodles, 米粉 or 米线. But actually the word 面 in Chinese only refers to noodles that are made with flour, not with rice. So you can't say 米面. It has to be 米粉. Okay, well, let's go back to the next dialogue now where Xuemei and her colleague are still in the Sichuan restaurant and see what they end up ordering. Okay, let's take a look.
凉菜都上来了，咱们开始吃吧。这里的夫妻肺片不错，来来，你们都尝尝。
看起来就很有食欲。
确实不错。
吃起来更好吃。来，你们以茶代酒，咱们干杯，为了友谊。
好，为了友谊。
热菜有点慢，服务员，菜上的快点啊！
好的，帮您催一下。这里客人太多了，都忙不过来了。
是啊，看来中国人很喜欢吃川菜。
川菜的口味一般人都能接受，很大众化。哎，菜来了。
麻婆豆腐、宫保鸡丁、鱼香肉丝。您点的菜已上齐，请慢用。
谢谢。哎，
我实在吃不下了，到这儿了，满了。
满了，真形象。
在美国，你常吃中国菜吗？
不常吃，有时候到唐人街吃中国菜。
我留学的时候也常去唐人街吃饭，那里的中国菜大多是南方菜。
中国菜油很大，可是中国人并不太胖，这是为什么呢？
可能中国人的运动量比较大，骑自行车走路的人比较多。
我觉得这个问题还挺复杂的。中国菜里面的油到底大不大？中国人到底胖不胖？都是值得研究的问题。
那这个问题就拜托你了。
好，等我研究研究再告诉你们。吃好了吗？咱们结账吧。
好，服务员，买单。
Well, in that previous dialogue, we were at a Sichuan restaurant, which are really common all over the place. And I think pretty well in most places of the world you can get Beijing duck as well, or Peking duck. But it's not quite as authentic as the real Peking duck in Peking. Have you had it here?
对，我在北京吃过，但是我在日本的时候，因为我觉得很贵，所以我一般不点。
Oh, I see. It's too expensive in Japan to have often. But you know, in Beijing, it's relatively cheap, so you can eat it more often here. But you know, when you go to a Peking duck restaurant, you have to be aware that there's a special way that you eat the duck. Did you know that the first time you went, Xusan?
我原来不知道这个详细的吃法，可是后来一个服务员告诉我怎么吃。
Oh, well, can you explain to me then, as in short as possible, how do you eat the Peking duck?
他说拿一张饼，抹点酱，放上鸭子和葱，转起来就吃。
Ah, you almost forgot the last part. You have to 卷起来, roll it up. You take a pancake, 抹点酱, spread some of the sauce, put some meat, a little bit of onion, and 卷起来, roll it up, and then you eat. Okay, well, let's go to the dialogue and see how Huang Renhao, Xuemei, and Huang Renhao's cousin, how they enjoyed their Peking duck.
这里的烤鸭都是等客人点完了以后先烤的吗？
对，这里都是挂炉烤鸭。
挂炉烤鸭
就是把鸭子呀挂在炉子上，底下用火来烤。
来，别光顾着说话，吃点菜。
谢谢，我自己来。我听说北京烤鸭都是用特别的鸭子做的。
对，这样的鸭子叫北京鸭，和别的鸭子不一样。
鸭子不一样不说，而且啊，喂养的方式也很特别。看，烤鸭来了。
都已经切好了。哎，这鸭子的皮怎么那么多？好像每块肉上都有。
北京烤鸭特别讲究片法。
片法？原来不是真的，是骗人的。
哦不，你理解错了。我说的片啊，是一片两片的片，就是切的意思。
明白了，刚才吓我一跳。
如果烤鸭切得好啊，每一块都应该是连皮带肉的。
你们先吃，我看看你们怎么吃。
好，我来做个示范。先拿一张烤鸭饼，放上一点葱，蘸上甜面酱，放2片烤鸭，然后卷起来就可以吃了。
我来试试。
Of course, Peking duck is one of the most popular dishes to try when you're in Beijing, but something that's really popular, especially with locals here, is hot pot, 火锅. Have you had the hot pot in China?
我吃过，非常辣的火锅，就是辣的，我开始吃我就咳嗽有一点。
Okay, you started to cough. You couldn't. It was a little bit too hot for you. Oh, how about you, Sichuan? Do you enjoy a hot pot in China?
我很喜欢吃，可是有一次我带我爸爸去吃这个鸳鸯火锅，我告诉他有一个这个白色的是不辣，红色的是很辣，可是他那个很勇敢的去吃很多那个辣的，最后这个结果是他流出眼泪了。
他流出眼泪. He started to cry because it was too hot. Yeah, but the type of hot pot that you mentioned, 鸳鸯火锅, the advantage of that is that half of it, the white side, is not hot, and the red side is hot. So people who, whether they enjoy hot food or not, they can both enjoy a 鸳鸯火锅. Well, in the next dialogue, we're going to watch Liu Yong and his friend went with Xiaojie to try some 鸳鸯火锅. Let's see how they enjoyed it.
请问要什么锅底？
你吃辣的吗？
不吃，受不了。
那我们来个鸳鸯锅底吧。
鸳鸯是一种鸟吧？
在这里，鸳鸯锅底的意思就是一个锅里装2种锅底，中间分开。
锅底不一样，涮出的肉味道也不同。
哦，原来是这样啊！
这里的羊肉啊特别好，没有膻味儿，咱们尝尝。
要点羊肉、牛肉，叫点青菜。
豆腐、粉丝、白菜，2盘羊肉，再加1盘牛肉。
请问三位用什么调料？
你们这有什么调料？
香油、麻酱、海鲜的。
3碗香油的吧。
好的，请稍等，马上就来。
啊，一半白，一半红，真好看。
锅都开了，咱们往里放吧。
肉变色了，熟了，快加吧，趁热吃好吃。
热乎乎的，真好吃。
Well, that's all the time we have for today's review lesson. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and hope you'll join us here next time on Travel in Chinese. And thanks especially to you two for coming out to help us with the lesson. Thanks very much. 谢谢。